Obviously, the first thing I want everybody to know is how excited I am to be here. This is a huge opportunity for me. This is an organization with a ton of history, and an organization that I am truly excited to be a part of, and I just can't wait to get going. I mean, this is a great start to the press conference, but I can't wait to get going. I've already been talking to Cam about camp and kids and the recruiting list I had at Duluth and good players, and I'm pretty excited to get this thing started, that's for sure, and come in here and hopefully be able to do what we just did in Duluth, and that's win a championship. That's obviously my ultimate goal. First and foremost, I just wanted to thank Don and Craig and Lloyd, the people that I met in the office, Kristen, Rich, Tim, Jordan. I came down here a few weeks ago basically to look into a job. I knew I wanted to be a coach. I knew I'd love to be a coach in an organization like this, at a level like this, and be a head coach and have that opportunity. So I came down to look at it and think about it a little bit. Then I met all these people, saw the vision that they had for this program, the vision to come in here and do it right, to come in here and win a championship, to treat people with respect, as Craig talked about, to care about these kids that we're fortunate enough to have under our care while they're here, to do all those things in the right way, give them the best experience that we can give them, help them win a championship, and help them reach their goals. I got pretty fired up when I left that day, I'll tell you that. It was a lot of fun. I could tell they're genuine people that care about the kids and care about this community. The one thing I wanted to say about the community here in Sioux City, and I have firsthand knowledge of it, is I want to thank you for the impact you've had on kids that have played here. I talked to 3 kids before I came down: Caleb Herbert, who just left this year, Jake Hendrickson, who played here a couple years ago, Travis Alexic, another player that's played for us. And they all talk about the time that they had in Sioux City and how important it was in their lives and their development, not just as hockey players, but as people, and how you took care of them, and how you were here for them, and how they'll never forget that. And it's funny, but that goes back a long way. I talked to a guy named Pat Williams, who nobody remembers his name, and I always tease him that he was at best average college hockey player, but thinks he was a lot better than that. But he played here in the late 70s when this whole thing just got going, and he talks about the same thing, the impact on his life that this community had on him, and the start it gave him to go be a college hockey player and now a successful businessman. I'm excited to be a part of something like that. And I just hope that I can bring the passion and the energy and those things to accomplish the goals that you want accomplished. It's your team. It's Sioux City's team. I know, coming from Duluth, it's the same way. It's Duluth's team. The people there feel a part of it. They expect good things, and I know you expect good things. All I can promise you is that I'll give it everything I've got. I'm going to bring the same culture we had at Duluth that we just won a national championship with. I've got a lot of passion and excitement for this game. I want kids that love the game. I want to make sure they never lose that love for that game, because most of the guys that I've seen make it to the NHL are guys that loved hockey. We're going to make sure these kids play with a lot of energy, a lot of pride, a lot of passion, and if they don't, that's my fault, because it's my job to bring that culture here. So again, I'm extremely excited about this opportunity. I'm excited to be in Sioux City. I'm excited to work with these people. One last thing before I left Duluth, one of the last meetings before I went to St. Louis and met with the owners, we had a pretty fun meeting, and that meeting was fitting our ring fingers for our championship rings and planning the party in Duluth this summer, where we expect a few thousand people to be there and celebrate that championship. Well, my goal is to hold a party like that, maybe right in here someday. With all of you here, all of you that care about this program, you're here for a reason, and that's my goal. Have that party here one of these days, hopefully sooner rather than later, and I'll give you everything I got to accomplish that. Thank you. Glad to ask any questions or answer any questions if anybody's got any. Maybe I talked too long. And yeah.
Talk about your family that's coming down.
Yep.
In Sioux City.
Yeah, I've got a wife of it'll be 10 years this summer. She's also originally from Duluth. 10-year anniversary, July 15th. 2-year-old boy, a little over 2. Lane, his name is Lane Larson. We liked the name because we thought maybe Lightning Lane Larson. He could either be a race car driver or a hockey player. He's really fast. So that's why we went with that name, and hopefully adding to the family shortly. And my wife's excited about coming down. We obviously did a lot of research about the community and the town and the people here. We figured it'd be a great place to bring our son, a great place to get involved in this community. And so they'll be moving here shortly. We actually, good timing. We got to be out of our townhouse on June 1st, so we'll be packing up and getting down here soon.
Coach, you commented about bringing your Duluth philosophy to Sioux City. Can you just talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, obviously, winning the championship didn't start just this year. It's a little bit of a process, and I go back to a few years ago in Duluth. We weren't expected to do anything 3 years ago. We were picked to finish 8th in the league. I came in that year, and the big thing that I saw that was missing was a culture of guys being excited about playing hockey, and a culture of guys being accountable to each other and doing whatever they had to do to pull their weight to make sure that the team goal was met, and knowing that if that was met, everyone else would be successful as well. We had a home series, the last series of the year against Alaska Anchorage. If we win that series, we get our first home playoff spot in I think 5 or 6 years, and that's the big mark in college hockey. You want that home playoff spot. Packed house, we lose 2 games in a row, 1-goal games, booed out of our own rink. And I looked at the kids as they walked in the dressing room. They closed the door. They came out about half an hour later and said, "Coach, it's never going to happen again. We've learned so much this year. We care about each other. We're going to use this experience to go win a championship." That's coming from a team that now we finished 7th in the league. We go out and win the WCHA championship that year. They never looked back. They've built on that culture ever since, culminating in the national championship this year. That's kind of the leadership side of it. I think we cultivated good leaders there that stepped up in a big situation. The hockey side of it was our philosophy of keeping things simple, letting these kids play, push the pace, be a speed team, a team that's attacking the puck, a team that's always on the offense, going after the opponent, never letting them sit back and be comfortable. Our theory was, let's make it tough on them every night. Let's be the team that teams hate playing against the most. And that's being competitive, hardworking, bringing a lot of speed. I think a fun brand of hockey. And I think our guys had a lot of fun playing it. So it sounds kind of funny, but we talk a lot about fun. I want these kids to have fun, and winning's fun. Having a culture where they know they're coming to the rink to grow and get better, and that we all have a common goal of winning the championship, to me that's fun, and that's the experience we want to give the kids here too.
So what kind of hockey do you want to bring to Sioux City?
Obviously, I'm coming from what I know. You know, I'd like to bring the same style we had at Duluth. I want a creative. I want a tempo team that pushes the pace. I want to make sure we're always on the attack. Obviously, we're going to play responsible in our defensive zone and try to limit as many opportunities as we can, in our defensive zone. But even in the defensive zone, we want to take away time and space. We want to make sure we got the stick on the puck, good angles, making sure we're taking away any opportunities. In saying that, once we do take away that opportunity, we need to be a good transition team. So we're going to work a lot on having our defensemen moving the puck up to the forwards quickly, getting on the attack, playing with a lot of pace and a lot of pressure. Our philosophy at Duluth is really keep it simple. We'll have some simple systems, but I think it's mostly my job to create the culture and the environment and the competitiveness that we need to win. You know, at Duluth we talk a lot about culture beating X's and O's any day. We want to create a competitive culture where these kids come and out-compete teams every night, and we give them the freedom to use their skill and their creativity as hockey players to do that.
What's the most important position on this team? That is it the D for transition or the forwards for keeping it going?
All 6 guys on the ice are important. Everybody's got their role to play. Obviously, when the puck's in front of our net, it's the goalie and the D, but I believe in a team concept. Everybody has their job to do. Everybody knows the simple systems, but I don't want to bind them down with systems. I want to make sure that just becomes habit. You know, Dean Blaze at Omaha teaches something that he taught to Coach Sandelin, who I learned from, and we believe in it, and that's teaching good habits, not so much systems. We want these kids to have good habits in the defensive zone, good habits in the neutral zone, good habits in the offensive zone, free them up to use the skill that they have. I know Cam's working hard to bring in some of the top skilled players in the country. We want to bring in the right players and give them that freedom and creativity to play. And as long as we make sure these kids out-compete the other team that we're playing against, and we'll have the skill to win those games. So I think it's up to us really to make sure that we create that competitive culture and let those simple systems allow the kids to use their abilities. Yep. Yeah, you always want to have a mix. You know, that's what we'll be looking for. We'll be looking to put the right mix together. We're going to need some small skilled guys that you can't catch, guys that are flying around. We're going to need some guys that play with a ton of grit, and defensemen hate going back to get the puck because they know they're going to get hammered. We need some guys to stand in front of the net. I think the key to winning Well, there's a team in our league right now in the WCHA that everyone expects to be the best team every year, but they haven't been for a while because they get the same type of player all the time. Our goal is to have the right mix, but make sure whatever their role is, they play with a competitive nature. They've got a lot of grit to them. They hate to lose and they love to win. So we're going to be looking for that right mix. We don't want all the same type of player. We want to fill those roles the right way.
To go along with your fast pace and finesse play, what I've seen in the last couple of years is lacking of physical play. I mean, some games they play physical, some games they don't. Your brand of hockey is also
Well, absolutely. When I talk about offensive hockey, when I talk about pace and pushing the pace and attacking the puck and all those things, you got to have the puck. So you got to be physical to get that puck. So I'm expecting our guys to win their puck battles. I'm expecting our guys to pressure the defensemen when they go back. The reason I want their defensemen pressured is so they turn it over and we get the puck. You can't win games on finesse alone. And that's the mix I'm looking for. Kids that, one of the questions in the interview is what type of kid are you going to be out there looking for? And I want kids that have skill, but they've got to have that grit. They've got to have that little jam about them that, guys hate playing against them. Those are the guys, I was a defenseman. I hated going back to get the puck against guys like that. I was maybe panicking a little bit more than I should. I'm going to throw it away and they're getting a chance. So don't take the offensive puck pressure, speed to mean just finesse. It's a game where you got to have the right lineup, the right blend of guys that are going to bang, the guys that are going to get in there and do those dirty things once in a while to get that puck back. If that makes sense.
Take 3 more questions for those that have any.
No.
Have you looked at the roster and does that fit your style of play?
Yeah, I like, and that obviously for me as coming into a situation like this, did a lot of research, talked to a lot of people, looked at the list that they had. Cam's done a great job of getting players. There's no doubt. He's built a great list, as well as Keith helping him out, and I felt good about what they had. Obviously, are we going to try to, add to that and fill some holes that we think needed to be filled? Obviously, we will. But like I said, Cam's done a great job, and I felt comfortable coming in here knowing we had a good core to work with. Now it's just us finding some of those little pieces that we need to fit the puzzle and put it together. Yeah. Yep. I am trying to keep him here as best I can. I wish I could elaborate on that more, but I'm going to do everything I can to do that. We did lose a forward to the San Jose Sharks early. We do have a spot open up there. I want Adam here badly. Adam's a great leader, and I think as far as having a guy that's going to stand in front of the net and do a lot of those things that you asked the question back there about, he'd be a perfect fit for that. So that is one of my first orders of business.
Take one more. Did you have to offer Scott some cash to bring back out?
I can't disclose that, but I'm going to do whatever I can, and I don't want to lose him. We recruited him at Duluth for a reason. Now I'm on the other side, and I want him to stay here, and a lot of it's for his development. I want him to go to Duluth at the right time, when he could step in and make an impact and not be a guy there that's maybe on the edge of being in the lineup. I want him to be here and grow and develop so he can go in there and be an impact guy right away.